Hey, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I remove my 60-inch John Deere snowblower from my 3R series tractor. It shouldn't be too hard. I have like a little roller platform I put this thing on, so I'm going to get that out. I was filming outside. Camera fell over already one time. It's really windy out here today. So I'm going to get the little platform, pull this into the garage a little bit, set up the camera, and then we'll go from there. I have like an extra block of wood that I put right under there. So that's the first step I do, is put it on the platform. And then the next thing I'm going to do is remove that wing nut, and there's a cotter pin. So, and then I'm going to slide this out. And I'm trying to get you a good close up here. So there's a cotter pin. Okay. There's the cotter pin. And loosen this. And then underneath, let me see if I can show you. It's actually a pin that goes up through, so you want to put your hand and just hold that. So, okay, got my hand underneath to hold the pin, so it doesn't just drop on through. Take this off, and then this will just drop on through. Now, what you can do, which is easier, let me get the camera down here so you can see. Now, it won't go past this housing, so what you have to do is remove this snap ring setup. So you want to remove this. Sorry, hit the camera. Take this out, and then you can just put it back together. And that part of it's done. So from here, we can actually now just lower this whole assembly down. This A-frame is, it'll actually separate from the blower, and it'll just go down, and then we can get the blower out of the way. But the first thing, the drive shaft we can disconnect. And there it goes. I don't know if you can see this on film. I'm trying to look at the camera. So this is just a spring-loaded coupler, and you just pull it back, and your drive shaft just separates. So got that done. Okay, since we got the drive shaft disconnected, I'm going to lower this now so we can separate the blower and get that out of the way. So I just wanted to point out, if you didn't have like a little platform and you were just going to put your snowblower right on the ground, this is a, well, I'll call it the kickstand, and it just works. It's got this little spring-loaded pin, and you just drop this down to the ground and then pick whatever height is good for you. But since I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so now we got that apart. We got the two hydraulic lines here, and I'm going to disconnect those and wrap them around the blower and then get it out of here. So you make sure let's go inside here. Okay, Just make sure you bleed off all the pressure. Yep. That should be good. Wipe off any debris. And I got zip ties holding these in place, so I'm going to go through that and cut all that. All right, next thing we have to do is remove this. So pull this, well, as you can see, the pin got pretty bent, typical. Then take this out. Then we just remove, and get you a different angle here. Take this out. And then we slide this out. Okay. And then we'll just do the other side. Ooh, that was easy. Then you can just slide this out. So as you can see, I left this together for now, and those right there. You don't have to do it that way. You can actually leave the whole assembly together. Just remove the circlip pin and then slide everything up and out. So I'm just gonna, I usually like to take it apart and just soak the bolts and stuff in oil. Okay, so the next operation is we have to remove these arms. So let me get positioned here and show you how to do that. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is removing these arms that lift the blower. They're just two pins held in by this assembly right here. It's really super simple. Let me show you. So remove this ring. So pull this out. Then you can actually lift this. Get that out of the way. Pull these pins. And then the arm just comes out. So the one thing I wanted to point out, on the side with the hydraulic, it's just easier to have it raised up almost as high as it can go so you can get the pins out. Let me show you that. See if I can get in here. So there's that. I'll start pushing the pins through. Get that. So the next thing is we got to remove the drive shaft assembly, and this unit right here has to come out. And let me show you the bolts. They're right, see if I can get my hand in here. Those bolts, we have to remove those on each side. So the one thing that I found that helps is this whole bracket holds that that unit right there. And the first time I did it, it was such a pain. So what I ended up doing is I loosened these bolts, so it made the whole thing a little looser. That way it helps slide out the bearing assembly. And let me get the camera mounted so you can see all this. So I just wanted to point out, this is what we're removing, is this whole assembly right here. This whole unit. So I just wanted to point out that these are 24 millimeters. So it's going to take a while to loosen this stuff up. There's not a lot of room in here, so I'm using the crescent wrench. And I'll be right back. Yeah, not a lot of room in there, so it's kind of a pain. So one thing I failed to mention, and I forgot about it, is there's a connection right there. Let me see if I can get my hand in here. Right there. You gotta disconnect that, because that wire stays connected to this bearing assembly. Yeah. See, it just snaps apart. You just pull back on this lever right here and it just separates. I'm not sure if it came out on camera. And then we'll get this wire out of the way. Okay, so just wanted to point out that I put my jack stand with the rag so it doesn't get everything all scratched up. Just to place it underneath, because this is going to want to come out and I don't want to slam it on the floor. And so got the bolts out right now. You will have to install them after you remove the unit, so those are all removed on each side. And then I got these two right here. They're 18 millimeters, so I just loosened them up a few turns, just enough to loosen this the clamping force that's against that unit. So let's see if we can get this out without too much force.
A few moments later.
Okay, as you can see, I had to use like a piece of wood and just tap this unit down. It is a very tight fit in between the brackets. I don't know if everyone has that same issue, but you can't wiggle it with your hands. You just need a little bit of force. So the piece of wood, just lightly tap it down and it came right out. So I wanted to show you that. All right, now just disconnect the drive shaft in the back. Pretty much the same deal. It's just a spring-loaded collar. Hopefully my arm didn't get in the way. And just drop that. Okay. Okay, so now all that unit, got my phone here. All that's disconnected. Okay, so now just got to reinstall the bolts. And do this. And then tighten everything up and we'll move on from there. Okay, I got the bolts back in here and tightened up. And don't forget to tighten those back up either. And the one thing I wanted to point out too is we'll go over here. You don't have to put the bolts back in here. I forgot about that. You can just throw them in the bracket here, until next fall, and then that's it. Okay, everybody. Well, it's snowblower's off. Here it is here on my little roller. Here's the components that we removed in the beginning. There's the drive line. Woo-wee! All done. Okay. So now the fun part begins of putting everything away, which will take another hour. Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you found this to be helpful and informative, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, and please consider subscribing. That's gonna do it. I should have more videos coming out hopefully pretty soon, with spring finally here, and with mowing and more goodies. That's gonna do it. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.
But that was awesome.